I'm not sure you realize how good Anthony Edwards actually is, or the sky-high potential that he possesses. This is a hyper-athletic guard with a diverse scoring package, who is notably a record breaker, a great playoff performer, and now the face of the franchise for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Plus, the scary reality is that Anthony Edwards literally just turned 22 at the start of the month, and has so much time to develop into the best version of himself. Here's just how good Anthony Edwards is right now, entering his 4th season, what makes him so special, and why he could be the future face of the entire NBA. But before we begin, be sure to leave a like on the video, as each like makes a tremendous difference for the channel, and be sure to sub to the channel for even more content like this. As a 6'5" guard with a 6'9" wingspan, freakish athleticism, and a strong frame, there's no doubt that Anthony Edwards was a top player in his high school graduating class. His explosiveness, handle, and grown man strength allowed him to get to the rim at will and absorb contact, made him extremely difficult to stop in transition, and left defenders lost due to the separation he was able to create. Couple that with an ability to get to his spots and knock down shots, then you obviously have a potential NBA All-Star. Matter of fact, his physical gifts are what made him such a gifted running back when he was younger, with him claiming that he was the top running back in the country at age 9 or 10. Edwards actually wanted to become an NFL player too, but he switched to basketball because he felt it to be more fun. Yeah, it's safe to say that he made a good choice. In high school, Ant completely dominated the competition while at Holy Spirit Prep. As a junior, he would average 26 points per game while leading his team to the state championship, and in his senior season, he would average 29 points and 9 rebounds, went on to appear in the McDonald's All-American Championship and the Jordan Brand Classic, and was considered a 5-star prospect. Overall, Ant would be rated the 4th highest prospect in his graduating class in ESPN's top 100, and eventually decided to stay close to home by committing to Georgia. In his lone one-and-done season, Ant displayed just why he was a highly touted prospect to begin with. So much so that he was considered a bigger version of former number 2 overall pick and all-star Victor Oladipo. Edwards was a complete tank that could get into the paint at will, demonstrated his shot creation ability, had a nice looking jumper with the ability to hit step backs, mid-range shots, and could even get hot from 3, and most importantly, he looked to have limitless scoring potential. This was a player that once dropped 33 points in a single college half, while seemingly having takeover activated at any given point. Essentially, the game of basketball felt effortless to him, but a layer that may have led to scouts being skeptical as well. They heavily questioned whether Ant actually loved the game of basketball due to not really being involved when his shot wasn't falling, questioned his commitment on the defensive end, and questioned his efficiency. He still would go number 1 to the Minnesota Timberwolves after being seen as the best prospect by most, but the pandemic canceling summer league and throwing practices and training camp way out of whack would lead to early struggles. Through the first 3 months of the season, Ant showed flashes of brilliance, but would struggle mightily from the field, averaging 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists on just 37% from the field and 30% from 3. However, Edwards progressively got better with time and flipped the script after All-Star break, posting strong averages of 24 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists on 45% from the field and 35% from 3 on 8 attempts. During his rookie season, Ant set a ton of records for the franchise and the league as a whole, being the youngest player to start for the Timberwolves in franchise history, broke the team's rookie scoring record when he dropped 42 points against the Suns, was the 3rd youngest player to drop 40 points in an NBA game, and was just the 5th rookie since 1984 to have multiple 40-point games. Ant actually got better in his sophomore season, jumping up to 21 points per game on improved efficiency, improving on his footwork in terms of getting to and finishing at the rim, and using his freakish athleticism and feel for the game to make him a huge offensive threat for his team. His improved outside jumper was also demonstrated in a December game against the Denver Nuggets, as he was the youngest player ever to hit 10 threes or more in a single game. Edwards didn't make the All-Star team in 2022, but he was evidently the star for the Timberwolves in the play-in and that NBA playoffs. In the play-in that season, the Timberwolves faced the LA Clippers in the 7-8 matchup. And in Ant's first semblance of a playoff atmosphere, he completely took off, dropping 35-5 in a narrow win and propelling the T-Wolves to just their second playoff appearance in 17 years. Up next, Timberwolves Grizzlies was a matchup of two young talented teams that gave us some of the craziest, most entertaining moments of that postseason. And the display from Anthony Edwards was literally unreal. Ant dropped 36 points on 52% shooting on the road in Game 1 to take a 1-0 series lead at just 20 years of age. For that series, Ant made history by having the most points scored in a single playoff series for a player 20 years of age or younger, and shot a mind-numbing 40% from 3 on 10 attempts a game. This series proved that Ant already belonged in the conversation of some of the best shooting guards in the league, and that the Timberwolves were for sure his team moving forward. And it's safe to say that Ant never turned back. He averaged a career-high 25 points per game on the best efficiency of his career in 2023, made the All-Star team, has now made 599 three-pointers, which is the most ever for a player before turning 22, and is 143 threes more than the next highest player, and he also became the second youngest player to score at least 35 points in consecutive playoff games. Anthony Edwards is for sure the real deal, and he's undoubtedly going to be better with each passing year. He was knocked for his apparent lack of work ethic and lack of love for the game, and many didn't think he took things seriously because he literally ordered McDonald's mid-post-game interview. However, Ant has proven to be a player well beyond his years due to his understanding of the game and poised at interviews at just 22. He's emerging as an elite player, he's entertaining due to his play and humor, and he's even playing a huge role in keeping Team USA alive now and in the future in FIBA. The US was literally down 16 points to Germany in the third quarter, but an 18-0 run and an insane play from Anthony Edwards proved to be the difference. Ant dropped 34 points in that game, while the rest of the starters combined for 25, and he shot 11 for 21 from the field, once a perfect 8 for 8 from the free throw line, and demonstrated incredible shot-making ability. Ant has proven that he's not only the best player of his draft class, but that he belongs in conversations with some of the best in the league. He's just 22, the sky's the limit for him, and I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being one of the faces, if not the face, of the NBA. With that being said, be sure to comment down below your thoughts on Anthony Edwards and his ceiling that he possesses. Do you feel he'll be a perennial all-star that sets a ton of scoring records? Do you believe he'll be a perennial All-NBA player, potential MVP? Let me know down below. Be sure to leave a like on the video, as each like makes a tremendous difference for the channel, and be sure to sub to the channel for even more content like this. To see you all in the next one, and stay tuned.